noon today. Dave Miller is in. Dave, good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great, Paul. Thanks for having me.
You. On the phone, we have, you going to turn them on? You got them clicked up? It is Craig Jackson. Craig is the Senior Vice President for Customer Operations. And also with us is Titania Jordan. She is the Chief Parent Officer. Titania, good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning.
Can you hear me loud and clear? Everything okay?
Everything is solid.
Dave's here in the studio, and of course, Craig. Can you hear me, Craig? Everything okay with you?
Yes, I can hear you.
Let's do this, Dave. First of all,
great.
We're talking about something called bark. It has nothing to do with dogs, but this is, when I mentioned this earlier this morning, this is a tremendous idea. So, folks, listen up, because if you've got kids, you'll want to hear this.
It's really something that we've been working on for some time, and quite frankly, we've been looking for a partner. We've been looking for a company that will monitor and manage online content, particularly for children. And we're talking about children between the ages of 8 and 12. We call them tweens, and then, of course, the teenagers. And, you know, the Internet's a great thing. Obviously, we are in the internet business, and we provide internet access and all that. But there's also a dark side to the internet, and particularly with young people who are just learning and maturing and figuring it out. And really, we have spent years trying to figure out what is a good partner that will make it simple and easy and convenient for consumers. And we finally found Bark, and we've been working with them for several months. And Craig can talk a little bit more about why we think Bark's a good fit for CSpire. And then, of course, Titania can talk about the services that they offer.
Craig, your thoughts on this?
Yes, like Dave said, from a CSpire standpoint, CSpire has always been about taking care of customers' communication needs for over the 30 plus years that we've been in business. We really care about well-being of family, and especially children. And when in our mission, we utilize technology to make technology simple and easy. And Bark has those same important character traits. Bark is a great parenting tool for the digital age and a smart way to help protect kids while they're online.
Now, Titania, are we talking about an app? Kind of explain this to simplify it for the people who are listening. Exactly what is this? Is it an app? Does it is it presets on the TV? What exactly are we talking about?
Absolutely. Well, thank you to everybody who is listening right now. We are here to help. We are here to help you parent in the tech world. So whether your main concern right now is just the time that your children are spending connected to the internet, Bark has time limits that you can set. And yes, it is an app, but there's so much more to it. But for the sake of simplicity, let's just call it an app or a website. So you can set time limits. If your concern is the content, what if they encounter content you'd rather that they didn't while online, while on social media? You can set filters. You can also monitor their social media if your child is at an age where they're, allowed to have certain apps. Well, that introduces a lot of problems. And that's one of the biggest values that Bark brings to families, is that Bark will alert you when your children encounter those issues, whether it's across text message with a group chat with friends, whether it's email, whether it's YouTube, whether it's over 30 social media apps and platforms. Bark is going to send you an alert.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
There are YouTubes for the younger generation and the regular YouTube, and sometimes I don't think parents know which is which, or the kids are most of the time on either one. This is not, as far as Bark is concerned, Dave, proprietary. There are other companies out there, but this, from what I understand, they simplify it. And what is the charge going to be to a CSpire customer?
Well, the Bark Junior product is going to be free to CSpire customers.
So it won't cost.
Both existing customers as well as prospective customers. It won't cost anything. And then the premium product, we're actually discounting that 29% to $10 a month. The premium product is the one that Titania talked about that will actually monitor 30-plus social media platforms and really provide that extra layer of protection and concern that parents might have about what their children are accessing on the internet.
Yeah, Craig, I read a story, it's been a couple of weeks ago, that these people who are the sinister ones, human trafficking, which is a terrible problem now, they don't mind spending 2, 3, 4 years cultivating several of these folks. And I say that because they're probably doing it within hundreds, if not thousands, so to harvest those victims over a period of years. But it's another reason to parents to worry about this at the earliest age.
Absolutely. With the ever-evolving online threats that are out there, as Dave talked about, we've been looking for a partner, the right partner, for several years now. I mean, BARC, with its innovative technology, the ability to use artificial intelligence and alert parents in real time is what really drew us to us, because time is essence when you're talking about potential online predators and other threats that are out there.
They give, Titania, do they give you like a daily summary on your iPhone or your iPad? Is that to just give you kind of an inventory of what the kid's looking at?
So you can actually tailor your results. There is a dashboard that you can log in to as a parent any day or any night. But BARC's whole premise is to, in addition to, helping to empower and protect families, is to save you time. So we're actually not going to send you a daily download for you to read. We're only going to alert you when there is a problem that you need to look at and take action. And not only will we alert you to the problem, but we'll give you best recommended next steps. And I want to point out, again, the distinction between the free BARC Junior and then the BARC Premium. A lot of parents listening and hear the social media monitoring, and then they might tune out because they think, oh, not my kid or not my kid yet. Well, believe me, as a mom of a 12-year-old, it will be your kid soon. And that's why the introduction to BARC Junior with the free aspect of it is so critical, because you get familiar with the BARC family, you can manage and limit screen time, and filter the websites and even keep up with location check-ins, which is a great starter point because kids are getting connected at younger and younger ages.
Yep.
And speaking, again, as a parent myself that has let tech babysit my child, we just can't do that, parents. We cannot let tech be the major factor in our child's world.
We talk about the scam artists out there who have a mission, and they're so good that they can you can have a college degree and they're going to get you because they're so sophisticated. Just think what they could do with the kids. Excuse me. I noticed in the press release, Dave, it was one part of this. BARC, BARC has detected 262,000 severe self-harm situations, flagged more than 2.1 million severe bullying instances by monitoring social media platforms, apps, text messages, and emails. Craig, that's one of the things we don't talk about, but bullying is a major factor on these things.
Yes, and in the 5 years of operation for BARC, those are some very impressive stats, and they've also protected more than 5.6 million kids, and in addition to that, prevented about 16 credible school shooting threats. So their sophisticated technology and state-of-the-art innovation will continue to help us address these situations, online threats that are out there.
Yeah, a lot of people may not have heard about them, Dave, but they are. The people, as far as the local and national law enforcement agencies, know a lot about them because they've worked with them for a while now.
Absolutely, and we're just coming out of this pandemic, and a lot of kids were isolated. A lot of kids had to do remote learning. They had to do access distance learning. And we know that it's very children are very impressionable, particularly in the tween and teenage years, and we have to really work hard to make sure that as parents that we do our best job of getting them to the maturity point. And this cyberbullying and the online predators that are out there, those are real. That's a real threat. We
got some other numbers after the break I'm going to share with you, but one of these is a report found that 88.5% of preteens, 94.1% of teenagers expressed or experienced violent subject matter online. Some kids, without their knowing it, are going from, just a cartoon all the way into sometimes pornography that's unbelievable, and parents don't even know it, have no idea what's going on. We'll continue this conversation on Mohead. I was looking at another one of these stats in here. 87.9% of teens encounter nudity and sexual content online. 78% of preteens, 91.1% of teens engaged in conversations about drugs and alcohol, 70.9% of preteens, and again, 87.9% of teens do encounter nudity and sexual content online. It is so vast that you've got to have some help on this one. Now, my understanding is if the average citizen wanted to go out there and get Bark Jr., Dave, is going to cost them.
That's right. That's right. And in fact, the stats that you just referred to were a case study that Bark did that was nationwide. And so those numbers are real. They actually examined and analyzed over 2.1 billion texts and emails, and then those apps that we talk about, the 30-plus apps and on social media particularly, and the social media platforms, they looked at all of that, and that's where they came up with this information. And it really is disturbing. But, one thing that Hu Meena, our CEO, talks about all the time is we're serious about being customer-inspired. We're serious about, doing the best thing we can for our customers and making it free really puts our money where our mouth is. Yeah. If we really believe that this is an important issue, if we really believe that children are at risk, then we're going to put our money where our mouth is. And we really believe in this product too. We believe in Bark Technologies and what they're offering and what they bring to the table. By the way, they are award-winning, and as far as we're concerned, they're best in class because we've looked at them all.
Yeah, well, that's what Hu said. Hu Meena said, while there are many options for parental control, CSpire chose Bark because it offers meaningful real-time protection when it comes to protecting our kids from online threats. And there are so many every single day. So sophisticated sometimes you may not have any idea at all. But if you've got kids, you know this, or grandkids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Titania, one more time, how easy is this? What should the person listening do? Is go to the website, go to the CSpire, is the app connectivity at the CSpire, or can you go directly to Bark, or what do you do?
Everybody listening should go to CSpire.com/Bark, and from there you'll get that special offer that is only available from CSpire. You can't go to Bark website and get this Bark Jr. for free deal. So CSpire.com/Bark.
By the way, that's like the dog, B-A-R-K. It's no fancy things. It's B-A-R-K. And again, it's CSpire. Is it .com?
CSpire.com/Bark.
B-A-R-K. Mm-hmm. And how long does it take for it to set it up? I mean, it's not that hard, is it?
Craig can answer that, but I know it's relatively quickly.
Yeah, it's very intuitive. I mean, one of our missions is to utilize technology, make technology simple. And once you go to CSpire.com/Bark, there are some very intuitive instructions on how to download it.
You download it on each device?
Right. You sign into your account, and you select the Bark plan that you want to add to your account, and then it basically under Manage My Account, it's done by phone number. So by the number that's assigned, so if your child has their own phone number or you share a phone, you can do it that way. But it's really easy, and like Craig said, it's simple, it's easy, it's intuitive, and that's another thing we wanted to make sure is because a lot of these parental control programs are really complex, difficult to manage, and you don't get timely information. But with Bark, you get all of those.
Is this usable on a computer?
Titania?
Say that again, on the computer?
Can you do this on the computer? In other words, would you have that Would you have that protection on a computer?
Yes. So you can, through your computer, go to CSpire.com/Bark and get set up that way. And then for your children, in terms of can you monitor your children's computers, even if they don't have a smartphone, the answer is yes. There are options for monitoring and filtering and limiting screen time across all different devices that are within your home and even outside of your home.
if you want to do the premium, you just there's a place on there to do that. You can switch over. I guess at any time.
When you go to manage your account, when you sign into your manage your account, you can select whether you want Bark Jr. the free, which is kind of as Tanya said, it's the introductory product, or you can go to the premium product. It is $10 a month, but that's a 29% discount off what you would otherwise normally
really.
pay.
So.
Yeah.
Is that's available right now?
That's available right now.
You can begin it today.
And you don't have to be a customer. We're gonna offer it to all of our customers, but you can be a prospective customer as well.
Guys, we thank you for the information. You have been privileged enough to close today's show, so we have no more time.